Coffee and convo, y'all. Let's get it. Yo, salute to everybody already here in the building, man. You guys know what time it is. Welcome to the latest installment of Coffee and Convo. I am your host, Graphk Raider, man. Salute to the greatest chat in YouTube history. As always, I appreciate every single one of you guys for being here. Make sure you guys get those likes up, wipe them feet. Also, hit that subscribe button if you guys are not subscribed yet. We're still trying to hit that 30K mark. We cannot do that without you guys. I see all my people. Hug, man. My dog Hug already in the building. It's good to see the My Father himself. I see Green Dot Gang, Teasier, man. All my people, Daniel. Salute to you guys. I appreciate you so much. If you guys want to become Green Dot Gang as well, like my guy Daniel M, make sure to hit that link. It's pinned up top. It definitely helps us keep the lights on over here at OLV Raiders Network. Yes, that coffee and content. Salute to my guy Hug, man. A lot to talk about today, you guys. I see Federal, Jordy, my brother Hammer's in the building. Salute the Lump, Jesse, Herman, all my people, Desert Raider. And real quick, while we're at it, let me know where you guys are watching. What city, what state? Are you at home? Are you in traffic? Are you at work? Are you at the girlfriend's house? Are you at the side chick's house? Are you at the side chick's house? Let me know in the comment section where you guys are watching today. Taino, my dog, Bourbon Raider, man, appreciate you for being here. Duke as well. Salute. Also, appreciate everybody for listening over on Spotify and Apple Podcast as well. This will be up shortly after. So, yeah, man, make sure you guys go over there, type in OLV Raiders Network on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts. Continue to download those, man, and run those up because it definitely helps us keep the lights on over here at OLV Raiders Network, man. So you already know a lot to talk about today. We got the Titans on the menu here in a few days. We're going to go over that battle, that preview, Cam Ward, Geno Smith, Jeffrey Simmons, Maxx Crosby. We're going to go over a few numbers here as well. Going to go over a few additions, picked up a linebacker, added him to the practice squad, former first-round pick. I didn't get a chance to cover it, you guys. I took the day off yesterday. I had some family stuff to work through and deal with in a good way. We got a lot going on right now, man. So the kids are just keeping me busy, keeping me active. But we're going to talk about that. And, man, we're just going to talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. You guys know what it is. Also, I want to talk about, let's start the show here. We already got 224 plus people. Whether you're watching on Twitter or YouTube, man, make sure you guys get those likes up. Share the stream if possible. Make sure to let everybody know what we got going on over here. But I'm going to kill a narrative real quick, okay? So the trade deadline is right around the corner. I believe it's November 4th. And I'm seeing a ton of Jakobi Meyers, which we've been talking about for a while. I do believe that if we don't win these next two games, Titans and then the Chiefs before the bye week, I do believe that we're going to probably move Jakobi Meyers. And honestly, we may move him regardless because once again, they're starting to get Jack Besh more involved in the offense. He was definitely drafted to be his replacement. So I'm seeing the Raiders move on from him the next few weeks. Now, I don't know where he will go. I don't know what kind of draft pick that we will get for him, but I'm seeing a ton of Maxx Crosby talk, okay? I'm seeing some teams out there. Somebody put out the 49ers the other day. I'm going to kind of kill this narrative. I know that they're looking for some edge help because Bosa's out for the season. I don't know how they would fit that contract, out there in Santa Clara. They're already paying Bosa. They're paying their quarterback. They're paying their hurt wide receiver. There's a lot of money allocated in other places, right? I don't see the Niners being a team. They may have made a call, and maybe they want to see how this thing works. Maybe they think that the Raiders would take on some cap, maybe a player and some draft capital. I don't know. Maybe that's the only way that would work. But I do not see the Niners making a move for Maxx Crosby. Yes, they're 4-1 right now. I don't think that they're a good enough football team, and this is not my biasness towards the Niners. I don't think that they're a good enough team to go all in this year. I truly do not believe that they have the team to do it. I think that they have some offensive line issues and some other things. I don't think that it makes any sense for the Niners to try and make that move. I think that they'll potentially maybe a cheaper option, maybe a Hendrickson. I could see them potentially, reaching out to see if Cincinnati is interested in moving on from him, maybe a few others out there. But Max, I don't see that. Now, there's a few other teams potentially, Jerry Jones is just Jerry Jones. I mean, they don't have a great record. What are they right now, you guys? Are they like 2-1 or something like that? Something along those lines. They need an edge rusher. Max is from the area. I know, he was born in Michigan, but he was pretty much raised out here in Texas, went to high school out here. His family still lives out here. They're locals. I could see Dallas potentially making a call. Maybe Indianapolis. They just picked up Jermaine Pratt. They can use some edge help. But I want to kill the narrative of the 49ers. And also, I want to kill the narrative that the Raiders are just going to go completely explode and just get rid of everybody. I don't think that Maxx Crosby is going anywhere anytime soon. He just got a new deal. He wants to be a Raider. I don't think that Pete Carroll will come in year one, especially with the contract that he has and the age that he has to come in and potentially move his best player. I don't think it makes a ton of sense. So I want to say this, you guys. I'm seeing a lot of, rumors and a bunch of other teams, Twitter accounts and Instagram accounts and all that stuff pushing this narrative that, Maxx Crosby to the 49ers and this and that. I don't think that that's going to happen by any means necessary. I do believe that he'll remain a Raider for the foreseeable future. Now, if there's another year or two that this goes by and Max says, you know what, I want to win. I'm getting to the end of my career. I want to win. I want to win a championship. I can see it. But for right now, I don't see anything worth talking about in terms of moving Maxx Crosby, especially with the 49ers. Because once again, I don't know how they would fit that contract out there. They're paying Ayuk, they're paying Purdy, they're paying Bosa. They have a ton of big contracts on the books over there. So I don't know how they would make that work. Now, once again, if the Raiders decided to take some salary cap back and pick up some extra picks, maybe, but I don't see that being a trade partner with the Raiders in terms of the Niners. And I don't think that the Raiders are going to part ways with Max. And I don't think, regardless of how bad we are right now, that Max is ready to leave Vegas. I think he wants to be there. He wants to remain there. But only time will tell. But if this thing continues to sink another year or so, I do believe that Max may say, hey, man, I want to win. I can't keep preaching this greatness thing and the Kobe mentality and all this other stuff, and I'm not winning ball games. But right now, I think it's a little too early to jump the gun in terms of a trade for Max. So who am I? Once again, though, but I'm just saying I don't think the Niners would be a trade partner for him, considering the money and all the other stuff. And I don't think the Raiders are completely ready to blow it up just yet. Now, if we continue to lose ball games the way we're losing right now, at the end of the season, you really, really have to think about making some moves here to completely tear this thing down and make it a real rebuild, which we talked about on the last show. But I don't think with these guys, the Chip Kellys of the world, the Pete Carrolls of the world, these guys in the building, these veteran coaches, I don't think that they're willing to part ways with their best player, Maxx Crosby, just yet. Salute to Big Al. Salute Graphk. Any news on Brock? Nothing yet. It seems as though he's still day-to-day. Pete Carroll keeps saying that he's just day-to-day here. I don't believe he'll play this Sunday. Mayer will be active. He's back. Eric Stokes is back, which is great news. And we'll go over the injury report here in a second. But I don't believe that Brock is going to play, and rightfully so. They need to be patient with him. They need to allow that knee to get completely 100% healthy before they put him out there on that football field. So with Mayer back in the mix, he can be a critical piece on the offensive side of the ball, not only in terms of blocking, but in the passing game. There's no real reason to rush Brock out there at all. And you're facing, Big Al, one of the worst teams against the run. They're giving up like 146 a game on the ground. This needs to be an Ashton Genty special. Get Raheem Mostert involved. Run the football against this Tennessee Titans defense. They're literally one of the bottom of the barrel teams in the NFL, giving up almost 150 on the ground per clip. So no reason to put Brock out here. Now, I personally, would sit him till after the bye week. Would it be great to see him against Kansas City in Kansas City? That would be phenomenal. But once again, you do not want to throw your best offensive player out there to the Wolves where he could potentially hurt himself. I would say the earliest after the bye week, and if he's not ready to go then, hey, man, look, I don't know when Brock will be ready to go. And at that point, I'd probably just sit him for the foreseeable future because there's no reason to throw out your generational player and potentially hurt himself. And you know, you're digging yourself a hole throwing Brock out there with some meaningless games. You know, if we're 1-6 at the bye week, honestly, do you want to throw Brock out there? There's no reason to. So be patient with him. Dylan, yo, Graphk, Mitchell and Indy, love the show, brother. I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. And it was great to see everybody out there, including my guy, Indiana. Dylan, Indiana, appreciate you, my brothers. Salute the Green Dot Gang. Indiana, man, we had a ball with you and your people, man. That was so fun out there in Indianapolis. Definitely. Ant, man, I'm blessed, man. I'm blessed. I appreciate you for checking in, brother. Let me see. Get some questions in, you guys. Salute the Mando. Matt's got the bag. He just got to thug it out with the losing. I mean, look, he got what he wanted, right? But at the end of the day, Max is a competitor. He wants to win. He would rather win with the Raiders, right? He said this time and time again. You know, he said, what did he say, man? I'm a fucking Raider. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it sounds as though he'll be willing to stick it out. You know what I mean? So, you know, we'll see. But I do not believe that the Raiders would part ways. I don't care how bad I don't care if we get blown out by the Titans this Sunday. I do not see in any world where the Raiders would say, you know what, we're just a really bad football team. Let's move Max and get him out of here. Come on, man. No, I don't see it. Salute to my guy Ant on the $5 smackaroonie. Once again, you guys, we have a lot to talk about. We're not going anywhere. This is going to be a fun show, at least an hour, potentially an hour and a half. So stick around, and we're definitely going to have some fun today. Ant says Carson Beck, bruh. I think he really is going to turn heads more sneaky in the early first round talks. So to my guy Ant, you know, I like Carson. I wasn't a fan of him last year. I think that he struggled in Georgia, transferred out to Miami. They look really good out there. Prototypical quarterback. What is he? Ant, isn't he like 6'4", 6'5"? He's a big dude. But the big question mark I had around him was, is he really invested in football? You know, last year with Georgia, there was a lot of talks of him just being on, you know, all these platforms and the Snapchats and not really focusing on football. You know, something to monitor this year. You know, he went out there to Miami. Miami's not the easiest place to go out there and be focused on football, right? But there's so many other players, so many other quarterbacks, and we're going to talk about those guys. We'll talk about a few mock drafts that I've seen on some of these websites. But I personally, Ant, would you know, look at the kid at Oregon. I would look at, you know, Dante Moore. I would look at potentially Drew Allar at Penn State, and then Sellers is my guy out of South Carolina. So I think that Carson Beck could be had potentially in the later first round. And this class is so deep that potentially he could even fall out of the first round as a whole. So, but I'm not the biggest fan of Carson Beck, but we shall see. However they feel about him, however SpyTech feels, you know, we'll run with it. But if they get him, he's a Raider. If not, you know, I'm not personally that high on Carson Beck like I am on the other guys. So, but and Mendoza as well. A big fan of Mendoza out there in Indiana. He looks really, really good early on so far this season in college football. Yeah. Pessimistic says, take that L. The season is over. Rebuild. But yeah, I mean, if you lose to Tennessee at home, and, you know, once again, the Titans fans, they don't really travel well, and they're 1-4. I don't see a reason for their fans to travel out to Las Vegas when their team is 1-4, probably the worst team in football. I don't see that team, that building being packed out by Titans fans. If you can't find a way to win this game, regardless of all the chaos that's going on, I mean, we've seen it, right? You guys seen the pressers. I mean, I put it out there the other day. That there was some issues with Chip Kelly. I heard it from numerous people. And then Pete Carroll kind of goes out there and throws Chip Kelly under the bus. And then Chip Kelly responds with, you know, pretty much, we've been trying to do that in a nutshell. And we'll go over what he said verbatim in his presser as well. But this is just a complete shit show right now from top to bottom. I mean, Pete is and there's other coaches, you guys. It's not just Pete that feels this way. Once again, we don't throw stuff into the universe just because. We know what's going on behind the scenes. We hear things. We know things. And yeah, there's a lot of issues right now going on with our offensive coordinator, not only with Pete Carroll, but there's other coaches that are very, very irritated by the way he's going about his business right now in in Vegas and players as well. So hopefully Chip can clean it up this week. I know that he was hyping up Geno at his presser and saying that he played well. I don't know why all these guys continue to say that Geno was playing well when he's not. But yeah, it is what it is, man. Once again, they need to clean this shit up. If you can't go out there Sunday and beat this lowly Tennessee Titans football team, there's an issue right now that really you need to explore all options at that point if you lose to the Titans, especially if you lose, big against this team that found a way to put up like a 20-piece on Arizona in the fourth quarter and escape with a victory. So salute to my guy, MV in the building. Shout out from East Los. I'll be at the game Sunday. Have fun out there, brother. Have fun. I heard the tickets are very cheap right now. Hearing a lot of people are selling their tickets. I've heard that there was some tickets as low as $40, $50 right now. Rightfully so. Rightfully so, man. Rightfully so. The product is very bad. And nobody wants to go out there and watch a team lose big back-to-back weeks, especially to the Titans. Could you imagine? I've been at some really bad games, you guys. The Colts were one of the worst ones. I remember being at the Atlanta game when Josh Jacobs ran over that defender and we got blown out. That was nasty, disgusting. That was a terrible, terrible loss in Atlanta. I traveled out there. I've seen some bad losses. And right now, I just refuse to continue to do so. And I'm hoping that everybody else refuses to go out there and watch the game from home, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just we're gonna continue to support our football team regardless, right? We're Raider fans. We're Raiders at the end of the day. But I'm gonna watch it from home. I'm not gonna travel to go watch any of this shit. And I hope that most people would feel the same way. People are paying $1,000 for really bad tickets to sit, down low at Allegiant Stadium and watch this team just get absolutely cooked. It doesn't make any sense. Save your money, man. Save your money. And Dev, I believe that was, right? Was it a 40-6 as well? Was it the same score as Indianapolis? I was there. I was at that game. I had a meltdown after that game. I was live at Chicken and Beer, Ludacris's restaurant at Hartfield Airport in Atlanta after the game. And I was in there yelling and screaming, and everybody was like, what the hell is going on with this guy? I was just very, very, very upset that I wasted my money, my hard-earned money, flying out there to Atlanta to watch that shit show. The good thing was, I got a chance to see my mom and my sister. I got family in Atlanta. That's my second home. So it was an excuse to see family, but still, that was a terrible, terrible performance. I seen somebody also mention the Derek Carr video. I know that's kind of going viral in the Raiders space right now, where he was talking about Geno and, he knows how good of a football player he is and all that other stuff. Let me say this, man. DC, love you, bro. And I know that people think I hate Derek Carr. I don't. I was just so ready for this team to move on from him because of, the divide in the fan base and just kind of that middle of the pack. And what's funny is once we moved Derek Carr, they continue to do the same thing, right? They keep bringing in these Gardner Minshew's, which DC is better than him. They bring in Jimmy G, DC's better than him, but they keep just bringing in these bridge guys that are worse than the original guy that you had, right? But I watched the video and I'm just like, look, this is no knock. And I don't want to make this a Derek Carr video, you guys, because once again, this is no knock. I hope he enjoys retirement. Once a Raider, always a Raider. I hope he retires a Raider because he needs to. But it just seemed to me like fake rah-rah, just get it done. Get it done. I don't want to hear that shit right now. Like the last person that I want to hear right now is Derek Carr talking about what the Raiders need to do in order to get it together and hyping up Geno Smith. I don't want to hear it. I would rather hear somebody that's going to be honest, transparent, and say, look, dude, you are playing terrible right now. This is what you need to do in order to get it together. I don't want to hear, oh, I know how good of a football player you are. And I know what you can do. I don't want to hear that right now. I don't think anybody in this fan base really, truly wants to hear that right now. Now, it's great to hear it from a former Raider, great Derek Carr. Good, bro. But I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that snake oil salesman talk. I just don't want to hear that. Boo, 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 boo. Fake. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear it right now. I want results. I love what Patrick Graham said yesterday at the presser. Pretty much like, look, dude, we got to just do this shit. Like all this talk about this, and that, we need to get turnovers. We need to win football games. The defense needs to find a way to create more turnovers. The offense needs to find a way to start gelling and get this shit moving. I want results. I love what Patrick Graham said, cussing and everything, like fuck all this other shit. We need to do at this point. That's what you need to hear. That's what you want to hear. Look, man, I'm old school, man. I grew up watching, the Lawrence Taylors of the world, and those type of guys, that those performers, that we don't want to hear all that happy-go-lucky shit. We don't want to hear that. We want results. We want these guys to go out there and win football games. And right now, you have an opportunity to change the narrative. You're facing one of the worst football teams in football in your place at Allegiant Stadium. You have a chance to potentially shake this shit off and then head into Kansas City, where it's going to be a tough one there in, Chiefs Kingdom. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. But it starts on Sunday, you guys. And once again, I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid right now. I'm not hyped about this football team. I do believe that we can win Sunday. Do I think that we will? No, because once again, they have not shown me anything to believe that they can go out there and win this football game. If they win, I'll be happy. Look, the recap show is going to be fun. We'll celebrate, and then we're on to Kansas City. But once again, I'm not going to act as though, I know how good you are. And no, bro, I don't want to hear that shit. I don't want to hear it. Man, this is a results-based sport. You need to win football games in order to prove the work, the money that you've been paid, and the reason why Pete Carroll made a move to bring you in. We need results. I do not want to hear anything along the lines of, we know what you can do when he's been looking really good and he's been solid. Chip Kelly and Pete Carroll, by you guys both saying that Geno has been solid, you are literally pampering him. You are babying him. That does nothing for Geno Smith and what he's trying to do moving forward. It does nothing for his development. And I shouldn't even be talking about development at 34 years old. But it's a new system, right? It's going to take a little time for Geno to get it down. I understand that. I'm not expecting him to go out there in a new system and just take the top off the NFL. But once again, stop babying this dude. Stop babying him. Hey, man, you got to get your shit together. Especially with Chip Kelly. It's like, dude, don't say that he's been playing well. And no, man, he's not. He's not been playing well at all. And sometimes we need that ownership. We need coaches to go out there and say, look, dude, he's underperformed. He's been very underwhelming. We didn't move a third round pick to bring him in to look like this. We don't know why Geno was looking like this. I just feel like we need less pampering, less babying, and more accountability. Simple and plain. Let me get to these supers. A World War II vet got slick with me today, so I went all Mike Tyson on him. This Mark Sanchez you talking to. Have some respect. Salute to Mark Sanchez on the $5 smackaroonie. Let me make sure that I'm caught up on the supers real quick. Salute to Mark Sanchez taking a stab at a World War II vet. Doom. Salute to my guy. Let me see. Chip owned Pete in the Pac-12. Old Flames die hard. The Oregon USC connection. I see what you did there, Chappie. Salute to my guy, man. Salute to Ray Glide. Graphk, why is it that every coach that comes here shits the bed, but they go everywhere else and they win? We have become that horrible. We've become a horrible franchise. Yeah, man, we talked about this on the show the other day. I just feel like there's something going on, in those hallways. It's like a energy vampire that is just connected to this franchise. It doesn't matter what we do and what we're trying to do. Like, you bring in the Grudens, you bring in the Josh McDaniels, you make a fan favorite AP the head coach, then you bring in a Pete. I don't know what it is at this point. I said it the other day. I don't know who can save this team at this point. I don't. I'm hoping it happens. I truly hope that somebody can come in and change this organization, because once again, this has been a struggle, especially to cover this football team. You guys, this has been really, really bad, man. It's just every single year, it's like I got to sit here and it's like we just find new ways to bash this football team year in and year out, because we have to be honest. In the offseason, we always start off optimistic. We're always like, okay, this is the year that we can finally get it together, right? I'm optimistic about the draft. I was optimistic about Pete Carroll coming in, even though I wanted Ben Johnson to be our head coach. And you guys know why. Young, new head coach, go get you a young, new quarterback and let them develop together, right? But I don't know, man. And this is the thing as well. And I don't think a lot of people are talking about this. Salute to my brother Hug, man. Jaded Graphk is the best. Stay on your soapbox. I appreciate you, my brother. Love you, bro. This is the thing. And maybe you guys may disagree with me here. And let me know what you think about this situation. I think that some coaches come into this thing and they're worried about their jobs immediately. A lot of these guys wouldn't get jobs elsewhere. AP wouldn't get a job anywhere. Josh McDaniels wasn't getting a job anywhere. Del Rio wasn't getting a job anywhere. Pete Carroll definitely wasn't getting a job anywhere else. So, Gruden wasn't getting a job anywhere else either. This was the one job. So I think that they have pressure on them. It's like, let me go get a middle of the pack quarterback and just try to win some games. I don't think I'm going to have time to develop my quarterback. Now, I could be wrong here, you guys. Let me know what you think about this. But I think that a lot of these guys feel like they don't have the time to go get themselves a quarterback and develop them because they feel like this is a revolving door at coaching wise with the Raiders. I mean, we've had a million coaches. We probably have 11 or 12 of them still on payroll right now. So I feel like some of these guys are worried to go get a guy in the first round because they don't feel like they're going to be around to be able to get the guy going, get the guy rolling, and develop him the right way. I think there's some of these coaches that come in, they have no other job opportunities elsewhere. We bring these guys in and they're thinking, okay, there's a lot of pressure on me right now. Let me just run with this or run with that instead of spending a top 5 pick or a top 10 pick on a quarterback. I think that these coaches come in, we bring in these guys that nobody else wants, and they feel that the pressure is on because of the revolving door at the coaching position. So they feel like I don't have time to draft my guy. I don't have time to bring in a guy that I can develop. Look at Tom Telesco. The guy had a great draft and he's out the door. And guess what? What was his reasoning for not getting a quarterback? I thought I had more time. I didn't think I had to throw the entire future of the franchise out there and try to move up to get a quarterback. I thought I had more time than this. That's what it was. I really, truly believe that these guys come in here and they're thinking, I'd rather just go get Jimmy Garoppolo, and then draft Aiden O'Connell in the middle rounds, and see if I can develop him behind the scenes while Jimmy G's the guy. Or bringing in Gardner Minshew because, man, at least we can try to win some games so I can keep my job for a little bit. But these guys are afraid to bring in quarterbacks to develop them. I really, truly believe that because of the revolving door at the coaching spot. Honestly, I really, really believe that. And if Pete Carroll was afforded the luxury of saying, hey, this is 4 years. You have it. This is your team. Next year, Spytech and company, go get the quarterback and develop him. So whoever comes in that 4th year, that's a team option, they'll have their guy moving forward. But once again, you can't expect these guys to come in and develop talent when it's just a shit show behind the scenes and everybody's afraid for their jobs. Honestly, the only thing that we had in some type of continuity or some type of was Gruden getting a 10-year deal. And of course, the Raiders are the only team in the world that would find a way to give a coach a 10-year deal fully guaranteed, and then some emails come out and you lose them. Now, that was for Mark, that was to me, I understood the thought process. It was like, look, this is your franchise. You take over, you do whatever you need to do to get this thing right. It's your team. You have look, you're not going anywhere. 10 years guaranteed. You have a sure job. You're not. So I understand the philosophy behind that. And I understand that they always wanted him back in the silver and black, when Al traded him over to Tampa Bay. But once again, it all starts up top, you guys. It starts with this general manager. It starts with the owner. It starts with, if you guys truly want to bring in a young guy, look what the Giants did last night. And once again, it's way too early to judge Jackson Dart. I'm not the biggest Jackson Dart fan. You guys know this. I didn't want to draft him. If we did, I was all for if we got him in the 2nd round. But I wasn't the biggest Jackson Dart guy. He went out there and beat, the reigning Super Bowl champs. And once again, they don't look the same. Philly looks really, really bad right now. They look broken as well. A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts looks terrible. But he looked really good out there. Then you got Scatterboo, my guy, which I was definitely right about. Wrong about Dart, right about Scatterboo. They at least have some exciting young players. Their draft, they got Abdul Carter. It's going to be a phenomenal edge rusher for a long time. They got Jackson Dart. They got Cam Scatterboo. That is a fun trio right there. If I'm a Giants fan, I don't care how many games I win this year. I'm just excited that I have those 3 players that I can build off of. To me, that reminds me of Dave Jackson, Khalil Mack, Derek Carr. that year in 2014 when we brought those 3 players in. It was like, it's an exciting time in Raider Nation. Right now, man, they look really, really good. And I think that Spytek, Brady and company need to watch games like that last night and say, okay, we need to go get our guy. We have to go get our guy. It's about that time. And I understand that Tom Brady is a former 6th-round pick, and you think that potentially you can get somebody in the later rounds. I don't want to hear any of that shit. Cam Miller is not Tom Brady. Next year, you go get your quarterback in the 1st round with your top 10 picks. We will have a top 10 pick. Go get your quarterback. And if you need to trade up to go get him, then do it. I don't care if you have a guy in Brady that was a 6th-round guy to Michigan. You go get your guy early, and you get him and you develop him. And then we have some excitement to build off of with this fan base. If you want to sell your fan base on showing up and blacking out that building, give us something to be happy about. Not the Jimmy G's, not the Gardner Minshew's, not the Aiden O'Connells, not the Geno Smiths, none of that. You go get a guy in the top 10 and then look at what they got going on in New York. And New York is only 2-4 right now. But once again, Jackson Dart, Abdul Carter, Malik Neighbors, Scatterboo. That is a fun, young team. They're going to be great in the near future, barring any more setbacks with injuries. Malik Neighbors gone for the year, but they have a fun, young team out there. I'm telling you, in the next 2 or 3 years, they're going to be fighting to win their division. As Philly kind of slowly comes down to earth, the Giants are going to be a team like the Commanders with Jaden Daniels that are going to be fighting to win football games for a long time. We don't have that. We have Brock. We have Ashton. We have a JPJ. We have Max on the other side, but we do not have that centerpiece at the quarterback position. Nobody's excited about Cam Miller. Nobody's excited about Aiden O'Connell. Nobody's excited about Kenny Pickett. Nobody's excited about any of these players. Next year, you get your quarterback early, and if you don't, heads need to roll, bro. Sorry. Spytek, go get you a quarterback. I'm not talking about the Kyle Trasks of the world. I'm talking about getting you a guy in the top 10 that we can be happy about developing behind the scenes. Now, if you have Geno out there again next year, at least we know that we have a Drew Allar on the bench, or we have a Mendoza on the bench, or we have a Sellers on the bench. You can sell me on that. That's cool. I'm okay. At least I know that we have the guy behind the scenes. So when you eventually bench Geno like the Giants did with Russell Wilson, we have a guy that we can be happy about. So the Mando, the coaches can't shit on Geno. He will play worse. Well, hey, man, look, Mando, can it get any worse than this? Honestly, I guess I'm just old school. When my coach said, you are shit in the bed, what are you doing? It made me want to fight harder. So if you're going to play worse when your coach, if you're a 34-year-old man and your coach is shit on you and your performance is worse, that's an issue. I guess I'm just old school. I'm 41 years old. I come from the era where, our coaches damn near could put their hands on us. But our parents wouldn't say shit because they were grooming us to be grown-ass gorillas out here. So if you're going to play worse because your coach is shit on you, then that says a lot about Geno Smith, the man and the player, than anything. I don't want to hear that. But honestly, I don't know if it can get any worse than what it is right now, regardless. I think Ben Johnson was the guy. I mean, bro, look, you guys know how I felt about Ben Johnson. And once again, that Chicago Bears team is not great right now. It's year 1, but they have a fun, young football team. Caleb Williams looks a lot different with Ben Johnson. They have a trio at the wide receiver position, which I do believe they'll move DJ Moore here soon, probably potentially at the deadline. I believe he's like 28 years old, and they have 2 young rising stars at wide receiver. But that is the guy that I wanted to bring in. And now you look at Liam Cohen out there in Jacksonville. Got T. Law looking great. It's just, why not us? It seems like every year, everybody figures out a way to change the trajectory of their organization, except for us. And it's kind of insane. It's kind of insane. A year in, a year out, the Commanders, worst team in football the year prior, second worst team, NFC Championship. This year, you're looking at, like I said, the Giants are not a good football team, and it starts with the defensive side of the ball. They have a great defensive line, but at the linebacker position, at the cornerback position, they leave a lot left to be desired there. And they can continue to build up their O-line a little bit. Jackson Dart has been kind of running around like a maniac trying to create plays with his legs. But it's just, why not us? At what point can we do the 2016 again? When can that happen? It's been too long. Salute to Duke. Just want to say thank you, Graphk, for always being honest and never sugarcoating shit when it comes to our Raiders. Keep that fire content coming, bro. Salute to my guy, man. I appreciate you, my brother. Salute to Duke. Salute to you on the $5 smackaroonie. My guy Mason, man, this is the most spot on to the way I felt about the Raiders ever. I agree 100% everything you said. I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you. Salute to everybody here in the chat. As always, we got over 754 people. Wipe them feet, y'all. Hit them thumbs up. If you guys are not subscribed yet, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Right now, I believe if the league ended right now, you guys, the season ended right now. This is what SI.com had to say about where we should go in terms of the draft. I want to read the words that they put out there, and then I want your guys' take on this. So right now we're 1-4. We would be drafting at number 6, the lucky number 6, just like last year. And they have us taking LaNorris Sellers, quarterback, South Carolina. This is what they had to say. Las Vegas's big offseason swing for quarterback Geno Smith hasn't yet paid dividends, as Smith has thrown an NFL-leading 9 picks. The Raiders owe Smith $18.5 million guaranteed in 2026, but there's no further cap implications should they part ways after this season, which is a great thing to know. Sellers, an uber-talented redshirt sophomore, has endured an up-and-down campaign, but he has the best physical tools of any passer in the prospective quarterback pool. At 6'3" and 240, Sellers has a strong arm, explosive athleticism, and playmaking ability. Perhaps the Raiders will swing for the fences once again. So this is what I agree with this sentiment. This is where I am. And Jason, it's not the Raiders side of SI.com. This is just Sports Illustrated as a whole. So it's not us, Hondo and those guys. It's not them writing this. This is coming from the website as a whole. So no Raider guy writing this once again. So there's no biasness. There's no nothing there in terms of Raiders. I think that this would be great. You get a guy that is a dual threat quarterback. He needs some developing, and he would need to sit for a little bit. But this is a young, dynamic playmaker that can come in and be your quarterback for the next 10 plus years. I personally, this is my favorite quarterback in this draft class. I do love Mendoza. I do love, the other options out there. I love Drew Allar because of the measurables, the prototypical size at the quarterback position. But I think that this would be a great move for our Raiders. If we went and got LaNorris Sellers, you guys, what would you grade that? Let me know in the comment section. How would you feel? A, B, C, D, F. How do we feel about LaNorris Sellers being a Raider? Because right now we would be drafting at 6, and they have, Sports Illustrated has us taking LaNorris Sellers, which would be great. Athletic guy that can come in. It's going to take some development, right? But he could be the dude that can be that two-way guy that can use his legs, strong arm. He would be a stud for me. Dan says, Broshmo had us taking Mendoza. Not mad about that at all. Mendoza, 6'5", 6'6"? He's a big dude too, man. I would not have an issue with bringing him in, the kid out of Indiana. Hug, that dad in the bleachers currently losing his mind because his kids are messing up. That's grass face this whole life. That's me at my son's football game, for sure. For sure. When he's inside of his own head and he's out there making mistakes, Hug hit the nail on the head right there. Salute to my guy. Let me get this off. We talked about the whole Niners Maxx Crosby thing. That's not going to happen. I don't see that happening. I'm going to go here. Real quick. Great game review. Hold on. Let me do this. Boom. We do this every week, you guys, and I find this to be hilarious. So, boom. All right, there we go. We're going to game preview picks, as always. And things have changed. And salute to LV Maximus in the building. I see my big bro, and also salute to my guy, Johnny Wade, in the building also. I see the reverse psychology here, MJD. I see it. This is the first time I've seen MJD this season go against the Raiders. I see the reverse jinx here, okay? Daniel Jeremiah, 17-10, Raiders. Wolf, 23-19, Raiders. Adam Rank, 2017, Raiders. Grant, 24-19, Raiders. Bucky Brooks, 24-17, Raiders. MJD, 21-14. I see what you're doing there, MJD, and I'm here for it. Watch the Raiders win just because of this alone. Gordon, 20-19, Titans, and then everybody else. Shook, 24-23 by 1 point. Ed Home, who was first in-game preview picks, has the Raiders winning 19-18, which is an interesting score. And then Patra, third, 22-20 Raiders. How are we feeling about this? Hey, MJD is a Raider for sure. Former Raider from the area, Raider fan for sure. I get it. He's tired, like we're all tired. And he's probably saying, let me go in a different direction to see if this changes things. So I love it, man. The game preview picks right here by you guys as experts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 have the Raiders, 2 have the Titans. How are you guys feeling about this right here? Once again, MJD with the reverse jinx. Do some voodoo in there, and I'm here for it. A lot of close, though. I don't see anybody having us over 7. I think Jeremiah has, 7 points, and everybody else is 1, 2, 3, 4. So, Mando, how would you feel if we dropped 50 on the Titans? I'd feel like we were 2-4 heading into Kansas City on the road in a must-win game. That's just how I feel. We're 2 games out right now in our division. I'm not going to get too happy, not going to get too excited. If you drop 50 on them, you're supposed to drop 50 on them. That's just how I feel. They drafted first. They got Cam Ward. They have a lot of bad players on that roster. They're struggling defensively. They're struggling offensively. You definitely have to keep an eye on Jeffrey Simmons. I am very worried about Jordan Meredith this Sunday. I think that he is going to get absolutely deep dished, cooked by Jeffrey Simmons, one of the better D tackles in football. Probably the best 3 technique right now in football. Jordan Meredith is going to get absolutely. They're going to have to put somebody out there to help with Jeffrey Simmons. I don't know if JPJ, whoever it is, I don't know what's going on, but they're going to need somebody to help Jordan Meredith right there with Jeffrey Simmons. But it wouldn't mean anything to me. It just mean, hey, man, we're 2-4. We're still one of the worst football teams in football. We just beat the other worst team in football. We're on our way to Kansas City where they're mad. They're coming off of a shocker in Jacksonville. So, and they're going to want to destroy us in Kansas City where historically they have, at least in recent memory. So, yeah, man, I wouldn't be too hyped up, man, though. Jeffrey Simmons, he said, is he playing? We'll go over. You know what? I'll bring that up right now. Let me get this off screen. And real quick, before I bring up the injury report, I want to go over this, you guys. Defensively, okay, we're still, as crazy as it is, we're not one of the worst defenses in football right now, even after giving up 40 to Indianapolis in that Commanders game. We're still 19th in totality in terms of defense in football, giving up 328 a game. But passing defense, okay? Now, this is – I'm looking right now. We're one of the worst football. We're 22. We're giving up 226 in the air, giving up 7 touchdowns on the defensive side of the ball in the passing game. But the Titans are literally one of the worst defensive teams in football right now, okay? They're 21 in passing defense. They're 25th total defense right now, 25th. So they're at the bottom of the barrel, but also they're the 30th worst rushing defense in football. They're giving up 146.8 a game, and they've given up 10 touchdowns on the ground. They're 30th ranked rushing defense. We have to find a way to exploit them this weekend with Ashton Jeanty. I'm expecting, regardless of the results, to me, this is going to be the second breakout game of Ashton Jeanty's career. I think that he's going to have a big game. We know what he did against Chicago. I believe that he is going to duplicate that again, and he may even have more yards on the ground this week against the Titans. 146.8 a clip, 10 touchdowns, 30th ranked rushing defense. Scoring defense, they're giving up a ton as well. We're 25th in the league. They're 26th. We give up 27.8 a game. They give up 28.2. They've given up 17 touchdowns as a whole. Also, they're a lot better, though, in red zone situations, okay? They're tied with us, which is actually crazy. We're both tied for 11th in red zone defense. So tied for 11th there, 57.9% right there at 11, tied with the Titans. Third down defense, I believe they're middle of the pack. I think they're 16th third down defense, 39.4. So, but this is not a great defense, you guys. It is not a great defense. And you go on the offensive side of the football, and they're struggling right now. They're 31st in the NFL as we're number 19. 31st offense in football, 233.8 points, yards per game. They only have 5 touchdowns. Passing offense, they're one of the worst teams in football. They are the worst team in football, passing offense-wise. They're 32 right now. And you look at us, we're really not that bad. We're 16th. We still average 210.2 a clip. We have 6 touchdowns in the air. And all of that is to Genty and Trey Tucker, I believe, up to this point. But the Titans are the worst passing attack in football right now, 148.6. They only have 2 touchdowns in the year, 32nd ranked passing offense. Now you go to rushing attack, right? They're 28th. We're 20th. I think we average 112.6 a game. We have 2 touchdowns on the ground. They're 28th. Once again, ranked one of the worst teams in football at 85.2 a clip. And they only have 2 touchdowns on the ground. And then you go to scoring offense, and they're the worst scoring offense in football. They are tied with the Browns at 14.6 a game. And we're 30th, right below them at 16.6. So these are 2 lowly offenses trying to figure it out. We have 8 touchdowns. They have 5 in terms of scoring offense. So, and then you look at red zone offense. Once again, we are the worst red zone offense in football. We are the worst. We're 32nd, 35.7%. That is disgusting. Disgusting. And they're 27th, 44.4%. Go to third down offense. They're the worst third down offense in football, 29%. 32nd ranked third down offense in football. We're 16th with 40.3%. So those are your rankings here, you guys, going into this game Sunday. This is not a great football team. It's not a good football team. They're one of the worst football teams in the league right now at 1-4. They found a way to win that game against Arizona. They found a way to put up a 20-piece there in the fourth quarter to beat Arizona. And Arizona struggled recently. They lost both their running backs, Connor and Benson. So, I'm not going to act as though Arizona is a great football team right now. But this is a really bad football team, like statistically the worst football team in the NFL this year. And if you can't find a way to get the offense going and the defense going, if you can't find a way to get a couple turnovers on the defense side of the ball, look, you guys, I'm telling y'all now, this is the week. This is the week. This is the breaking point. This is the breaking point. And you're right, Marty. They stupid errors. Arizona lost that game themselves. The running back threw the football before he got into the end zone. We seen Gannon on the sideline. I believe he got fined for putting his hands on his running back. Yes, the Arizona Cardinals definitely found a way to lose that game. But hey, the Titans capitalized. It's the NFL. You got to find ways to win football games. But Arizona definitely did their job to make sure that they lost that football game. But this is the backbreaker here, you guys. If you cannot beat this football team at home, this is by far the worst football team in the NFL. And I'm talking about our Raiders. If we cannot find a way to win this game at Allegiant Stadium, if you can't find a way to get the ground game going, if you can't find a way for Geno to eliminate the turnovers and go out there and have a big game like he did week 1, if you can't find a way to get this thing rolling on the defensive side of the football and get some pressure on the quarterback and come up with some turnovers, this is going to be the worst football team in football this season. You losing to the Titans at home, this is the worst team in football. And I'm speaking about our Raiders, not the Titans. If you find a way to lose by 1, I don't care. If you just find a way to lose this football game, we are the worst team in football by a long stretch. Simple and plain. It doesn't get any more must win than this game on Sunday. The last few games were must win. Chicago, Indianapolis. But this, you're playing the worst team in football. And if you can't find a way at home to win, coming off of a nasty, nasty loss against the Colts, we're in for a bumpy ass ride moving forward for the rest of the season. And at that point, it's just all gloves off. I'm not holding back. I'm not sugarcoating shit. At this point, you know what? I'm not even going to celebrate a win because we should win this game. Simple and plain. But, it's the Raiders. We'll see how this thing works. Frank says, draft Ruben Bain Jr., trade to get back into the first round, take Maivia or Ty Simpson at quarterback, build the defensive line and create a monster defense. I don't think they'll take the young kid out of Miami. I don't. Once again, we're going to need an edge rusher. Tyree is clearly show that he can't be the guy. Malcolm Kuntz is probably going to leave in free agency. He's not done enough this year, at least so far, to even warrant a new deal. And then you just got Maxx, right? You got Brennan Jackson. He's hurt right now on the IR. I don't know if they, what their plans are for him moving forward, but I don't know if they would take an edge rusher that early. You got to get a quarterback. If that would be such a Raider move right there to do the same exact thing that we've been struggling with lately, like taking a quarterback early. Now, if you want to get back into the first round, like you said, Frank, I don't know if Spy Tech would want to move any of his draft capital to move up and do that. Why don't you just get your quarterback? At the end of the day, I would rather get a quarterback. And if you're going to move back into the first, get you some line help. Get you a tackle. Get you a guard. Get you something there. Move into the back end of that first round and get you somebody to protect that young quarterback that you just drafted. I would prefer that. And then you can target a corner, target another edge rusher, and build that thing up. But once again, I think you need to get I know you need to get a quarterback early. And if you're going to move up, if one of those better O-linemen kind of drops in the first round, come up and get him. Because once again, this O-line is not it's not a great O-line. You got to build on it. You got to build on that for sure. Let me see. Salute to everybody here in the building. Once again, as always, I appreciate you guys so much. Real quick, also, for those who don't know the timing of the game, it is this Sunday at Allegiant Stadium. I think it's 3:05 my time, Central Time. So it is a 1 o'clock game back home on the West Coast. It is a 4 o'clock game on the East Coast. These are the spreads according to USA Today. Raiders -4.5, -110. Tennessee, the spread for a +4.5, -110. Money line +185 for Tennessee. The money line for the Raiders -210. This is according to Bet MGM. And then the over under for Tennessee 41.5. This is the over -108. The under for the Raiders 41.5 -108. So there you have it. I'm looking right now. A lot of these guys that are picking against the spread have the Raiders winning this game. But once again, we know how this thing has looked up to this point. We can go over the injury report while we do this as well. AJ Cole is questionable, you guys. We'll see today. He's supposed to go out there and kick today. We did add a punter to the practice squad, but we'll see if AJ Cole can go out there and kick today. Pete did state that they're going to try him out there today and see if he can kick with that ankle injury. Brock Bowers still dealing with the PCL injury and that knee injury. He's questionable day to day. I don't expect him to play this Sunday at all. Other than that, Stokes is no longer on the injury report. Michael Mayer is no longer on the injury report, which is great. You look at the Titans side of things; they are lengthy right now at the injury. With the injury report, Jeffrey Simmons dealing with an ankle injury. He is questionable. That is a major thing to keep an eye on. J.C. Latham dealing with a hip injury. Their tackle, he's questionable. Arden Key, former Raider great, LSU great, dealing with a thigh injury. He is questionable also. I'm looking, who else? A lot of these other guys have already been on the IR. Bryce Oliver, knee injury, he's questionable. Blake Hance, their guard, shoulder, questionable. Joey Sly, their kicker, calf, questionable. Van Jefferson, the veteran wide receiver, ankle, he is questionable also. Marcus Harris, their corner, dealing with a calf injury, he is questionable. Kevin Winston, the safety, hamstring injury, he is questionable also. James Lynch, their defensive tackle, hamstring, or shoulder, my apologies, questionable. And then Anthony Orji, linebacker, knee, ACL, he's on the IR. He's been on the IR since February. So right now, that is the injury report up to today. We will get a more better understanding a little later, later today as Tennessee releases their injury report, and then we do ours as well. So stay tuned for that. Salute to Julio. Most of the head coaches that we have hired in the Mark Davis era have done a disservice to this team and the organization. They all had big egos. They forgot one fundamental thing. It's about the players. That is a great super chat right there, Julio. I agree with you, brother. Salute to you, man. Dope. Salute to you. This is definitely 110% correct. Salute to Julio. Yes. Gruden, ego. Josh McDaniels, ego. I'm not going to say AP had one because he was still learning this thing, right? Pete Carroll definitely has an ego. He's definitely stuck in his ways right now. And, we'll see if that ego remains if Geno struggles this Sunday and they don't bench him. But yes, I definitely agree with you. Definitely agree with you. So to my guy, 2-4 in the building. As always, good to see one of my fathers in the building. Graphk, I've seen this movie, program, rerun, etc. I still watch, wear my Raiders gear, but nothing's going to change until it does. Thanks for that content. Oh, and I want to say this. I seen a lot of people in the comment section the other day saying, damn, man, Graphk ain't wearing his Raiders shit no more. You guys, it was the first day of preseason NBA basketball, okay? My Kings, my nasty, disgusting, terrible Sacramento Kings were playing that day, okay? Look, man, I've done over 2,000 live shows, 2,000 live streams, and maybe 10 lives tops. I didn't have Raider gear on, okay? There was a reason for every single one of those live streams. So look, I'm right back in it. Got my Brock shirt on, got my Raider hat on, okay? It wasn't because I'm tired of this football team. It was because NBA preseason started that day. Seeing a lot of people in the chat, oh my God, bro, Graphk is really done. No, man, no. I was just excited about looking at another sport for the meantime. I'm just like, God, I'm so sick of this fucking football shit. At least I could put my J. Will jersey on, my Kings hat, and go in a different direction. So once again, I'm a Raider through and through. I mean, how many you guys know that got multiple? I mean, come on, man. It is what it is. Let me see. Yes, I definitely will. I will definitely be driving out to OKC to watch my Kings this year for sure. Watch my Kings get their ass whooped by the reigning champs. Definitely. I was trying to go see the Kings. I go home Wednesday in Sacramento. I'll be home for like 4 days, 5 days. But I literally get home an hour after the Kings play. They start their preseason game on Wednesday. So kind of sucks. Kind of sucks. Let me see. Oscar says, half of these new fans are new, Graphk. Don't break a sweat. We die. Come on. You already know, brother. You already know. Salute to my guy. Bosco, good to see my dog in the building. As always, appreciate you, brother. Salute to all my people here in the building. Make sure you guys wipe them feet, hit them thumbs up. If you are not subscribed yet, what are you waiting on? Hit that subscribe button. Edgar, man, look, bro, I got just pretty much just family stuff, man. I'm going to stay out the way as much as possible. I have potentially 2 funerals to go to. I'm still waiting for one of them to be ironed out, and then I'm going to my sister's funeral in Yuba City on Friday. So it's going to be pretty much a family-oriented trip, but I'm definitely going to find some time to probably go down to Sauced downtown near the Golden One Center, go get me some barbecue, and I'll probably end up hitting my area, the South Side, go get some Chinese food, and try to meet with some people. But this is going to be an under-the-radar trip back home. I'm not doing too much, and I'm trying to stay away from, most of the people that I came up with. No disrespect to them. I love them to death, but they're just out there doing the same shit. So I'm not missing out on anything. So let me see. Salute to LT, my guy. Salute to my guy Squid, man. Appreciate you, brother. At this point, the fan base and nation is what keeps me around. Normal numbness for the team, not worth staying up till 10 p.m., 2 a.m. to be watching games. Also, any update on the OakLosVegas gear, bro? You know what, Squid? I actually took the website down, brother. I'm actually going to be rebuilding a whole new website. So stay tuned for that. I got rid of it, and I'm working on some new designs behind the scenes. OakLosVegas.com does no longer exist. I'm working on a whole new site, and I'll definitely have it up in the near future. But I want some new energy, man. We're going to do a lot of new things over here. We're going to start, switching up some stuff and really diving into a bunch of different things. Just new energy, man. So there'll be a new site up. Squid, I got you, brother. And you'll be one of the first people when the site goes active. I'll send you the link on Instagram, my brother. Salute to my guy, Squid, man. Squid has been around forever. I believe Squid started on the mental health shows that we used to do when we first started. So always good to see my guy. Zon, what's up, brother? Good to see my guy here in the building. Let me see. AR says, Graphk, I have to say it. You're like the Drake. Pre not like us of this Raiders media space. You deserve your flowers, brother. Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. So to my guy, Ron Justice, in the building as well. Mega, I think that is all done. The whole Shadeur thing at this point is cooked. It's cooked. It's not going to happen. They moved Flacco, sent him to Cincinnati. Hug, you know what, bro? I think that me and you Let's get on the phone, bro. I would love to do that. I would love to do that. I think we should. What do you guys think, man? I think that me and Hug should mix this business stuff together and get that rolling. Hug got a print shop out there, in Idaho, and Hug. Let's get on the phone this week. Let's talk, brother. I think we can find a way to mix these up and get to it. That would be phenomenal. That'd be phenomenal. I'm always excited to work with my people, so that would be a dope opportunity. You know what, Hug? You're on to something, brother. Let's do that. Let's connect the businesses and let's do it the right way. But the Shadeur thing is out the window. They moved Flacco to Cincinnati. I know that they still have Bailey Zappi, out there in Cleveland. They still will not name Shadeur the quarterback too. At this point, they're kind of just stringing him along. Mega, they're just really using him to sell tickets, sell clothes, sell merch. I know what they're doing with the whole Shadeur thing. I'm one of those people that can read a room here with Shadeur. They're definitely utilized. I mean, who gets interviewed as a 5th round pick in a third, the QB3 as much as Shadeur Sanders in Cleveland? They're using him for camera time. They're using him for money in terms of, likeness and all that other stuff. But I don't see them moving him because of that. They'll probably name Bailey Zappi, a guy who's had some experience at the NFL level at quarterback. They'll probably move him to quarterback 2, and then they'll keep Shadeur at quarterback 3. But once again, they're not gonna move a moneymaker right now. They're not. There's a reason they let them on an active roster and didn't put them on the practice squad, because they're pulling at heartstrings. They want people to think, okay, if Dylan is struggling, let's bring Shadeur in. They're smart out there. They're definitely using Shadeur, and I think that Shadeur knows that, and Dion knows that. I don't know if you guys seen Dion talk about, I don't care about the Browns. I don't care about the Browns. I care about Shadeur Sanders, because Dion's not stupid. He can read a room and he knows what's going on out there in Cleveland. So, but it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Did he finally get named, Rock? Did he get named QB2? Did he finally? Okay, well, hey. Okay, well, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. But once again, why struggle with the idea of making him the quarterback 2 in the first place? If he's already your QB3, right, and you move Flacco, why is there an issue? Why is there a conversation? I didn't see that. So once again, I love it. Okay, like 10 minutes ago, dope. Love to see it, because if Gabriel goes down, get a chance to see Shadeur. But why is there a conversation anyways? If he's your QB3, you trade your QB2, you elevate your QB, you elevate Dylan Gabriel to QB1. Why is there a conversation? Why is there a conversation? There should have never been a conversation. Zappi is on the practice squad, I believe. So why are you holding out on just naming him the number 2 guy? Okay, so it was reported. Okay. But I'm excited for him there. That's what's up. But once again, they know what they're doing with him. Let me see. R. Gonzalez, I appreciate you, brother. Get a few more questions in, you guys. We went over pretty much everything that's going on in the nation right now. I do want to give kind of my take on. We talked about, bringing in a linebacker from Seattle and elevating him to the practice squad. He's a special teams demon. He's not going to get a ton of reps at the linebacker position. I think that Eichenberg and Lindenberg are going to be the guys to come in and kind of take the work from Jermaine Pratt now. But we did make a move for Jamin Davis, you guys. This is an interesting move. He has struggled these past few seasons. This was a guy that I was really, really high on out of Kentucky. He is a physical specimen. He spent the majority of his career up to last year with Washington. He was a former first-round pick. I mean, in year one, he looked pretty good. He played in 16 games. 2022, he played in 16 games as well. He started in 15. This is a guy that, once again, is a physical specimen, but hasn't lived up to the first-round hype. He is on the practice squad right now. But this is an interesting pickup because, he didn't play a ton with Minnesota last year. He only played in 4 games. He didn't start in any games last year. Played in 5 games for the Commanders before he was moved also, but didn't start any also. But he hasn't had a really good career up to this point. He has struggled. pretty much in every facet of the game. He had one pick in 2023. But once again, I mean, I think he has 8 sacks in his career. Year 1, he had 1. Year 2, he had 3. He had 3 the year after that. But this is an interesting kid that if one of those veterans go down, God forbid, it'd be fun to watch. To me, this is kind of like a what kind of move would I kind of refer this to? Who's the kid that we brought in, former LSU product that just went to New England? Kayvon, right? Is it Kayvon? This is one of those kind of moves in my eyes. Physical beast, former early round guy that just really hasn't lived up to the hype up to this point. But if you give him a shot, new energy, new surroundings, maybe he can be something. When you look at this dude, he is a physical monster. If he gets an opportunity, it's going to be fun to watch him go out there and play. Once again, it kind of reminds me of the Kayvon move when we brought him in. Former Jacksonville first-round pick, Chason. There you go, Huck. For some reason, I was drawing a blank right now. Kayvon, Chason. It wasn't. How do you say his first name? It's Chason, though. But it reminds me of that kind of move. Now, I don't know if he's going to ever, be on the active roster, but this is the kind of move that I'm excited about. Former first-round guy, you take a flyer on him. He's still really young. I believe he's only like 26 years old, 6'4", 234. This is a kid that if he ever gets an opportunity, he may take full advantage of it. Played in 54 games, has 8 sacks in his career, has 178 solo tackles, 2 forced fumbles. This could be a potential guy that we can take a look at moving down the line. Kayvon Chason. Yeah, I always butchered his name. Was a major fan of him at the collegiate level, and it just didn't really, translate at Jacksonville. And then last year for us, he looked pretty good. And I don't know what he's really looking like out in New England, but it's kind of like that kind of move. That's how I feel about that. So it's so good. Why was he? Oh, I'm not. Have I ever said he's so good? I've never said that. I never said that. He struggled up to this point. But at this point, you're a young team, and this is the kind of move you make. You bring in a young 26-year-old former first-round pick, and you sit him on a practice squad, and you see if there's anything there with him. I'm not here to say that he's so good at all. I'm just saying he's a physical specimen. In Kentucky, he was a baller. That was one of our favorite linebackers. When we covered that draft class, we were like, man, this kid could be a stud. And it just really hasn't translated up to this point. He was with some pretty bad Commanders teams. I don't know if that, kind of hampered his development. But, Chason was nice at LSU, Gonzalez, for sure. But I'm not here to say he's so good at all. I mean, now he's on his 3rd team, and he's 26 years old. So I think that kind of tells you everything you need to know. But if you can find a way to unlock his full potential, once again, he's still young, 26 years old, former first-round pick. You may have something there that you can develop on the practice squad. And maybe down the line, we'll see him at some point. Because also, you got to remember, all these linebackers that we have are aging 1-year deals. Landon Roberts, 1-year deal. Devin White, 1-year deal. Jamal Adams, 1-year deal. So I think it's a good move. We're young. And, maybe they have something there on the practice squad. Yeah, there you go. I think it was a good move to pick up both linebackers to level up the special teams unit. You want to know how to make the special teams unit better, Black Sales Sports Talk? Just fire Tom McMahon. That's all it takes. Honestly, bro, just go get somebody else to coach that unit up. I swear, bro, we don't have bad players on that special teams unit. We have a terrible coach. We have a terrible coach. He's really bad. You want that special teams unit to get better? Fire his ass. Sometimes that's all you have to do. He's terrible. Why are people mentioning Hendon Hooker in the comment section? There's no need to even go look at a quarterback when you have Aiden on the IR, which you're still trying to figure out what you have with, is he going to stick around, which I don't think he will. You just traded a late round pick for Kenny Pickett, and then you have Cam Miller on the practice squad. So there's no reason to even go look at another quarterback at this point. Even if you sat Geno ass down, like there's no real reason that they're not going to go look at another quarterback unless they want to add one to the practice squad. I know we just released Driscoll and added Davis. Maybe they want to add another quarterback to the practice squad. I don't know. But it's going to be interesting to see what they do with Aiden, though, for sure, because he'll be off the IR soon, and they have to make a decision on him very, very soon, which he looks like he does not fit with this this scheme offensively with Chip Kelly at all. Let me see. Salute to my guy S. Dot in the building as well. Appreciate you, brother. Jonathan, I don't have any expectations. I don't. My expectations went out the window watching my team live lose 40-6 against the Indianapolis Colts. So, if you're supposed to win this ball game, right? You're at home. Tennessee's traveling far west. They're a terrible football team. I don't think there's really any. I don't have any expectations. So we see Pete and Geno are decided to make money and quit. I don't think so. I don't think that it's a money move. Pete didn't need the money. He had a job in Seattle being like a senior advisor or something. And Geno was still getting paid good money, and now he's getting paid even better money now. What did he get? 3 years, $75 million deal or something like that, somewhere along those lines. But I don't think it's just a money thing. I just think that we're getting the worst version of both these guys. In typical Raider fashion, we're getting the worst, getting the worst version of Pete Carroll. We're getting the worst version of Geno Smith in typical Raider fashion. So, Kingdom comes says, do you feel like the season is best in your channel? Nah, man, hell no. I've dealt with worse. We were 4-13 last year, and we still grew, and we still covered this team every step of the way. No, not at all. Black sales. I mean, bro, I've literally, like I said before, outside of 2021, I've never covered a winning season, and that season was 10-7. So, like, you know what I mean? And we snuck into the playoffs playing against some pretty bad football teams with some backup quarterbacks. So, look, I don't think so at all. Now, if we just took off and we were 15-2, I definitely think the channel would probably have 50, 60,000 subscribers. I mean, with a winning product, your product wins as well along with it, right? But no, I don't think the channel is hurting over that. We're still good. We're still good. So, Black Sales, I agree 100%. Fire McMahon. He was a bad hire to begin with, and he's been hiding behind 2 potential Pro Bowl kickers for years. So, the Black Sales, once again, there you go. So, yeah, I don't know who the hell that is. Yeah, let me get them out of here. I don't know what. It seems like a bot. Definitely seems like a bot, Calvin. But let me go ahead and shoot that. Let me go ahead and shoot that down. Bing, 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 boom, 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 boom. That boy out of there. So salute to my guy Black Sales. As always, appreciate you, brother. Let me see. So I watch channel more when losing for therapy. Salute to my guy Alzado. Sean Athletics. That means a lot to me, brother. Thank you so much. Coach, come on, bro. Come on, bro. Name those teams right now. Name those teams. We faced at the end of the season the Broncos in 2021. We faced the Colts. They had a backup quarterback. And I believe week 18, we played a backup quarterback in I'm lying. 2021, the last week, we ended up beating Herbert. I was at that game where we got into the playoffs. But I'm talking about those 3 games, the Browns, Broncos, and Colts. Those 3 games right there. When we ended up winning those, we played against some backup quarterbacks. I'm not lying. Cowboys, Eagles, and Steelers. Oh, Coach, you talking about a whole different year, bro. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Bro, you are so off. You were so off. I'm talking about that stretch of football where we beat the Browns. We had the Browns, Colts, and Denver on the menu when we snuck into the playoffs in 2021. When we had the opportunity to beat the Chargers at Allegiant Stadium to get the wild card spot to face the Cincinnati Bengals on the road. And yes, Black Sales. Cleveland had like 18 starters out. COVID. Remember, I think their whole O-line was out because of COVID. We played like a terrible, terrible. Like they had so many players out. The Colts game, there was so many moving parts with that. I forgot who the hell we faced out there with them, and then the Denver game as well. The Chargers were at full strength because once again, they were a team fighting to get into the playoffs. Coach, I am talking about the end of the season, bro, not who we beat that year. Not talking about the teams that we beat. Not talking about that because we started off 3-0. Then I remember we lost to the Chargers. That Monday Night Football game, I remember I was at the Bears game where we lost that game. That was the last Gruden game, but I'm not talking about the teams we won. I'm talking about the end of the season. Richie B took over, and we played some bad teams week 15 to week 17, where we snuck into the playoffs. Not talking about the teams that we beat that year. Coach, you got somebody slipped you a Mickey in that old ass Jamba Juice that you're drinking, bro. I told you to switch it up, get a new flavor, get a new cup. Something is going on with that same ass cup, Coach. Got to get rid of it. Salute the Hug. I know how to fix the season. Have Tom Brady give Geno Smith some of that goat blood in the transfusion. Talk, Hug. Talk. I agree. Somebody slipped that boy Coach a Mickey for real. 7-3, I appreciate you, man. Appreciate you, brother. That means a lot to me. Salute. Yeah, Primo's, look, man, it is what it is. It is. Yeah, wait, for real. Slipping a Mickey must have been at Mickey Blaine's. Bro, somebody slipped Stu a Mickey, bro. That's crazy. Stu don't even remember that night. That's wild. That is wild. Salute to my brother Stu. That man is a trooper, bro. That man forgot everything that happened that night and came out and still hit the game and kicked it. Somebody definitely slipped Stu a Mickey. That's wild. The same one that Coach got hit with. No, I'm not a fan of Kyler Murray at all. Undersized, overrated, no siree, Bob. I don't want anything to do with Kyler Murray. No. Jay, I'm telling you, bro. Somebody did. I found that man at the same club that Mark Sanchez got stabbed at 10 minutes after I found Stu. I put him on my back and had to walk him into the car. Imagine putting this Stu big ass on my back and walking him to the damn car. Salute to Johnny. You were right there with me, brother. Salute to you. It's nasty work. Disgusting work. Literally, you guys, it's so crazy. Literally 10 minutes after I found Stu at a separate club where he had no idea he was there, Mark Sanchez gets stabbed right there in the alley in front of the club. It's crazy. It's wild. Ron Justice, have you heard about Maxx going off in the club? No. Or in the club. In the locker room? No. Not at all. Haven't heard anything about Maxx Crosby going off in any locker room at all. Haven't heard about anybody going off. The last thing I heard was just the Jermaine Pratt situation. That's it. Let me see. Oh, John, that Airbnb was blazing, bro. That's why I was sweating my ass off. It was too hot. It was too hot in there. Garrett, they got a few players on the defense side. I'll bring the roster up right now. But it starts with Jeffrey Simmons for sure. All starts with Jeffrey Simmons up front. But they got some interesting pieces on the defensive side of the ball for sure. Let me see. Jeffrey Simmons, of course. I like the kid Cedric Gray, the young linebacker out of North Carolina. We don't know if Arden Key is going to play. They got an old Raider, Jihad Ward, the former second-round pick out of Illinois. They have a sneaky corner group, L'Jarius Sneed. They still got Quandre Diggs out there, the veteran safety. Amani Hooker. I don't know if Kevin Winston's going to play, but they got some interesting pieces on the defense side of the ball. Definitely. Don't sleep on this defense. You can't sleep on this defense. Definitely can't. Definitely can't. Yes, Josh, definitely coming up for sure. Definitely coming up. So, but yeah, I mean, honestly, you guys, realistically, once again, this Sunday, the expectations are really low. I know Mayer's going to be out there. I know that Eric Stokes, we get our number one cornerback, so we're not going to probably have to deal too much with Kyu Blu. I'm hoping and praying that they give Porter all the reps that Kyu Blu had, because he's been getting picked on like crazy. And I feel bad for him because he shouldn't be in this situation in the first place at all. Simple and plain. Kyu Blu should have never been named the starter. I understand they were trying to be patient with Porter, but I feel bad for the kid because he should have never been out there. They were attacking him. Indianapolis looked his way every single time they threw the football. Porter held his own on the opposite side of the field. But once again, I don't know if it's saying more about how bad Kyu Blu was to just keep attacking him, or how good it was with Porter on the opposite boundary. But I'm hoping this Sunday we get a starting duo of Stokes and Porter. I think that's your best opportunity you have at the cornerback position. And then you can rotate DCAM in, and if Kyu Blu has to be a guy that can come in and get you some reps here and there, so be it. But starter wise, it needs to be Stokes. It needs to be Porter. It needs to be Porter. Simple and plain, man. It's time, a baptism by fire at this point. Throw the kid out there, have him start the entire game. Him and Stokes, corners, run it. Run it. Simple and plain. Run it. Because this would be a good chance also, to build some confidence. Build some confidence for Porter. This isn't a great passing team at all. They're at the bottom of the league with Cam Ward and company. They do not have the best passing attack in football. They have an older Tyler Lockett, Ridley and those guys. But this is a great opportunity for Porter to go out there and build some confidence moving forward, because, we're going to need that, because guess what happens next week? We face Patrick Mahomes, the best in the business. So we're going to need him to be ready to go. So I'm hoping that Porter gets full starter reps against this lowly passing attack that Tennessee has this Sunday. So, but we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. But other than that, you guys, as always, appreciate you guys so much. I will be doing a recap Sunday, so stay tuned for that. I may do a show in the morning as well, just to do the inactives and talk a little bit more about what's going on. Maybe even tonight, if something transpires, if there's any information that pops up about the game this Sunday, I'll definitely do that. But for sure, recap Sunday. And maybe even a show early in the morning Sunday. So stay tuned for that. I will not be doing the game, but Hammer will be holding it down over there. He'll be calling the game. So make sure you guys go subscribe to Hammer. He'll definitely be. I'm watching the game with my kids. I'm going to enjoy the game at the house, sitting on my couch, eating some food, and not having to worry about calling the play-by-play. So, but other than that, man, love and appreciate you guys so much. As always, wipe them feet on the way out. Also hit that subscribe button if you guys are not subscribed yet. If I'm not around tonight or tomorrow, I will see you Sunday. Salute to everybody here in the building as always.